Cardinal, as I said to Agoya, as a spiritual leader. World famous architect, and so I've said it all just now. This is exactly how I view Douglas. I sometimes, and Blondine knows, call him Douglas Commando.
Yeah,
So,
I can see
I
that.
think you're right, Michael. William is with us. Douglas, can you address us about your hope for the islands?
Our children were really suffering in the residential school. Almost half the children were died in those institutions, and there were terrible conditions. At the same time, our elders, they moved from the east to the west because everything, all the ceremonies and everything were illegal, and so they brought their ceremonies to the west. And then what was happening in the west at that particular time, they made them illegal on the reserves. So much so that they encouraged the good people on the reserves to nail up the elders' houses and burn them alive. And this was, so the elders, what they did was they left the reserve and went into the mountains. And there they established a place where they could carry on these ceremonies and teach them to the people that came there at Robert Smallboy's camp. So it was that camp that had elders from the east would come with their ceremonies and their traditions, and a group of Anishinaabe elders that carried on the traditions. So it's that group that, in a sense, we realized at the time that they had almost totally destroyed our nations. And we're destroying the next generation through the residential schools. And something had to be done. So the chiefs gathered together with the elders, and they asked me to take on the government of Canada or Indian control of Indian education, to be able to get education in their own community, and take them out of the residential schools, and with love and caring teach them about their culture, their language, as well as teach them how to survive in the world of today. So that was what they wanted me to do, and to submit to the cabinet, and then Trudeau and Chrétien, a whole concept of Indian control of Indian education. So I remember, first of all, they wanted me to show me what was happening in the reserves. And it was terrible, terrible. The average grade school level, 3.4 years, average lifespan, 34 years. 10 times the mortality rate for the children, 10 times the suicide rate. It was terrible. In fact, one of the ministers of the Alberta government said, if I line them all up against the wall and machine gun them, there'd be more survivors. I mean, this is like Nazi Germany. And how can I, as he said, stand beside? So it was actually the social credit government under Matting that financed us all to take on the federal government, because he was himself, Mr. Matting, a spiritual leader, and Fred Colbert, who was a good Catholic, he thought, I can't, in all consciousness, allow this to carry on. And so they financed us all to be able to come together, because hard at that time because Indian Affairs wouldn't allow people to get off the reserves. We couldn't communicate with each other. So when we got together, it was all the tribes. There were 7 different languages, so all the elders and the people were there with their representatives, and they all spoke different languages. And I was asked to put this all together in a document. And I thought, how am I going to do this? I don't even know the languages. I don't understand what they're saying. I'm so overwhelmed. And one of the elders said, just sit there and be quiet, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So I'm sitting there, I'm very nervous, having this awesome responsibility. So at the end of the session, everybody spoke. The elder said, no, we're all leaving. Everybody, we have a good rest tonight, and we'll see you in the morning at 8 o'clock. We'll all gather together at 8 o'clock. So I go home, just a little overwhelmed, and I go to sleep. In the middle of the night, I get this overwhelming vision of what they said. And it's clear with everything in it. It talked about we'll gather together, we'll feel the oneness of our spirit, and we'll stand on the land. And we will feel it. We will feel the roots that reach into here, and we will contemplate those people that have come here in the last few hundred years. Will weep for the destruction of our land. Will weep for the destruction of our waters and our vast herds of buffalo. We will weep for the destruction of our people. And we'll weep for the destruction of our pride and our dignity. And we'll contemplate those people who've come here and the devastation they've caused us and our land. And we will look up to the Spirit, and we'll give thanks that we have survived. And we will gather together in good spirit, in good heart, and we'll join together as oneness. We'll see the oneness of our spirit and feel the oneness of standing together, and we'll be so thankful that we have survived. We have suffered a great loss, but we are true people of this land. And we have a job to do. We will forgive those people that have come, and we will stand here, and we'll teach our people not only to survive as we have in our past, not only our language and our cultures, and we will give them the best knowledge that we have, but we'll have to teach them how to survive in the world of today. We will equip them well with all the knowledge and wisdom of the people that have come here. We will give them sharp weapons we will hone them so they'll be sharp and useful for their survival in this modern world. We will teach them the beauty of our culture, and the beauty of our languages, and the beauty of living in harmony with each other in the land. But we have an even greater task in the instruction of our young people. We not only have to teach our people the knowledge that we've shared for thousands of years, we have to teach the Indigenous culture to love and be loved. Our job and our destiny is to teach the Indigenous culture the love we feel for each other and the land. We will teach the immigrant culture to love the earth as we love. We will teach them to love the clear waters and the muck and streams. We will teach them to love the winds across our brow. We'll teach them to love because our very survival depends on that task. We are a great people, the true people of this land. And the great love and knowledge that we have, we will share because all of our survival depends on that task. So that is our destiny. And that's why people from all over the world have come to this land, because they have a lot to learn from people that have lived in peace for thousands of years. And we'll welcome them as we have, and we'll be always of good heart. And our task is to teach about loving and caring. So I'm just remembering those elders because they're gone now. And they were amazing teachers. And I saw how powerful they are, because the Spirit operates in amazing ways. When I was thinking in my head, how am I going to put their vision together? I don't even know their language. And all of a sudden, everything came up to me. I remember, and when I was talking to them, I did not know the culture. I was deprived of the culture when I was a child. And I came to, and we'll stand before, and I'd say, what is that? They said, offering pole. Oh, offering pole. I didn't even know what it meant. And I was wondering, I could feel my headdress flapping in the winds, and I said, and I can feel the winds. And I didn't know exactly how to praise it. And one of the elders said, across your brow. I go, across my brow. So they said, read it again. And I read it again, and they said, yes, that's our vision. Now, we'll come with you to Ottawa. You present that to Trudeau and Chrétien, and that's our vision. And it'll happen, because that's the Spirit guiding us. So I went to Ottawa with them, with their chiefs and their elders, and they wanted me to present it to Chrétien and to Trudeau, Minister of Indian Affairs at the time. And after the presentation, there was a minister from Quebec, and he said, and we call them les sauvages. And they approved it. It became federal policy. because we spoke to their hearts. And there's nothing more powerful when you speak to people's hearts. And it was, so that has happened through my experience with the elders. When they wanted rehab centers, the elders got together. I was asked to present the vision. The elders are going to heal their people through these traditional ceremonies. And we got it through schools on reserve. We got it through. It was all done through spirit. It was all done through commitment from the elders. And my job has always been to bring people's visions into reality. That's a gift the Creator gave me. Not about me, not about, in fact, sometimes I have to get out of the way. I interfere with the process. Because there's nothing more egotistical than an architect.
Oh, I don't know.
So it's that very important element of being able to take the elders' vision. So when I was saying with First Nations University, we came to court the elders. Ralph Goodale, he's now a minister, but Ralph Goodale was a minister back then. He had to stand with us for the First Nations University. Now, even in the First Nations University, the Queen sent her son to open the building. And at the celebration of the 100th anniversary of Saskatchewan, the Queen came. She bypassed all protocols. She went to the First Nations University, gave them a stone from her castle and said, her houses are being painted. I honor my commitment of my great-grandmother, Queen Victoria, and so you have two queens on your side. Because Canada, with all their nonsense, is dishonoring the crown. But, of course, we Anishinaabe people don't honor the crown as our leader. I mean, we're Anishinaabe. We'll never be colonized. We'll never bow our head to anybody except the Creator. We're Anishinaabe. We're dominion over ourselves. We're sovereign over ourselves. We have a different form of governance than the colonial hierarchical system of which you brought out. We're not in a hierarchy. We don't believe in hierarchy. You see, that makes a few people noble and everybody else ignoble. Makes everybody else secondary. Like, what kind of nonsense did you bring on our lands? You know, we're free people. We've always been free people. And we paid the price for our freedom from the southern tribes. We didn't honor war. War is something the Creator, of course, it doesn't fit within our reality to kill another human being. It doesn't fit in our reality. Not that we didn't defend ourselves, but how we defended ourselves were that we at least are succeeding. rode in the paddle with nothing but acoustic. Touch a vulnerable part of the enemy and said, I can kill you. You're on our territory, but I spare you. You better come and talk to us. If you need something, we'll share with you. But leave your weapons behind. And that was what we did also on these islands too. These islands are sacred site for all Anishinaabe people from the Atlantic to the Rocky Mountains and south, southern shores as well, because of the significance of it formed like a sacred pipe. For over 10,000 years, people would come here. But our Anishinaabe were peaceful people. You leave your weapons, come and trade with us. So, we Algonquin peoples have a responsibility to all Anishinaabe people, because they were the host nation. They welcomed the other nations here. All Anishinaabe people, but also the southern tribes. All the Shawnee people too, because they left their weapons. So, the Algonquin elders, as William did, understood that responsibility of welcoming all the Anishinaabe people, all the people, and everybody who comes on these islands. But what you also wanted those islands to be is a place of learning and knowledge about how to live in peace and harmony with each other in the land. That was his vision. So that it's not just a place as well, a beautiful landscape area, and see the beauty of that site return, but also be a place where we Anishinaabe people can teach the rest of the people in this country and the rest of the world how to love each other, how to care for each other. And that's the only way that we're going to survive in the future, living in peace and harmony with each other and in peace and harmony with the earth. You know, last night, before we pour the water from the rocks, we offer water to the earth. The water in the earth creates life, creates beauty and life. And we offer the water to ourselves. We can't live without this water. Then we offer to the rocks and the water. How and what kind of insanity do people that have come here, what kind of insanity do they have to poison the waters? Like poison the very source of life. Like when you poison, there's a problem that we face as Indigenous people to the culture that has come here. You're part of all life, part of every living thing. You pollute the river, you pollute the very blood that runs in your veins. You can't do something out there without affecting yourself. You can't pollute the air without polluting yourself. For what reason is that insanity exist? And so it's something that is beyond us as Anishinaabe people. The mentality of people that feel that everything could be exploited. We look at everything and how can I make money from this? How can I make money from you? How can I make money from anything around me? I mean, that is sickness. And And that's something that has to be healed. So I just wanted to say also that, you know, our culture had everyone noble, everybody sitting in a circle, and each person spoke. When each person spoke, everybody listened out of respect and dignity for them, because they're sovereign over themselves. The uniqueness of each individual, when they're all expressed, creates a harmonious, beautiful symphony, which is very speaking from the heart. That's how we governed ourselves. And how can we look at how we formed a patriarchal society in the human race like this, when we're matriarchal by nature? And to control the women in such a way of which they cannot take their rightful place. Only changes in the world can happen when women take their rightful place. And we're guided always by the women, by the loving and caring and respect for the children. We need women's guidance. Without women's guidance, you know, us men operate like the House of Commons, you know. Just turn it on and just, you know, by nature we're combative and we're males. We need the guidance and the support of our grandmothers of the women. So I feel that we have so much to offer as First Nations, and that's why I've always supported having the schools be on the within the communities. The First Nations University, we recorded a lot of the teachings of the elders, but the problems that we have today is, as Saul Sanderson said to me, you know, we have had a terrible time going through colonization. And we've survived that. But a lot of our people are colonized in their mentality. They've lost their spiritual way. They believe power is in Ottawa. Or power is, you know, through the Indian Act. And the chiefs and council have power. They have no power whatsoever. They're subject to the Superintendent General of Indian Affairs. It's a dictatorship. It's apartheid. It's genocide. And you see that every day when you go to the reserve. You know, I have young people, young women come to my lot. She wanted to hold a sacred pipe in her hand. That night she committed suicide with a pipe in her hand, because she could see no hope. And that's happening all the time. Like for myself, you see, my aunt died at 30, my father's sister, because the craziness of this worldview, this sick worldview, had such an effect on her that it stressed her body so bad that she died when she was 30. Now I inherited the same genes. The only reason I'm standing here is because the elders carried me up with the eagle's wing. And decolonized my being. Totally decolonized, wiped all that stuff out of my head so that I could be whole. And I've had to follow the ceremonies every week, because after a week goes by, I start thinking like the immigrant culture. And the minute I start thinking like the immigrant culture, I get sick. My whole body starts shutting down. And I get sick. Because my spirit doesn't work with my body anymore. And my spirit wants to leave it. If my body acts like a colonist. So it affects me physically. And it affects First Nations physically. Because you know, it's what Johnny MacDonald knew. You kill the Indian in the child. And that's why 40% of children die. You kill the Indian in the child, you kill the child. You kill the Indian in me, you kill me. That's how it affects me as an Anishinaabe. My body shuts down. The minute I start buying one bit of the hierarchical colonized system is when my body shuts down. I remember what happened when I was honored by the Government of Canada, Governor General, whatever. I felt so disoriented because that's not what I wanted. I came home and my body said this, my spirit said, I'm leaving. I was cold because I was among and in the hierarchical system of power and control. And what my reaction was my spirit leaving my body. So Adoya had to get the neighbors to come make a sweat lodge and drag me in there, and I was already cold, unconscious. And a good Catholic, she took out my medicine bag and whatever, and she started doctoring me with eagle, singing the songs, and hammering me like this. And all of a sudden, I felt wham into my body. And there was nothing more painful than a red hot sweat lodge or some doctoring me. And I thought, who is singing these songs? And I could feel her presence, and she was hammering me, and all of a sudden I just came whamming in my body again, you know. And then she opened the door, and what's a good Catholic girl up you doing a place like this? And she is a good Catholic girl. In fact, we got married in Leola, the center of the Jesuits. And I know the Spirit had me do that because going through a residential school, it was the most painful experience of my life. And it's been very hard for me to forgive. Rage comes up and I get stressed out with the rage of just thinking what I went through. I go to sleep, and there's a crucifix in my bedroom. And it is a teacher for me, because I have to forgive. And the thing is, I used to have these stress attacks almost every week, where I shut down totally. You know, totally get vertigo, lose feelings in my hands and feet, end up in the hospital somewhere, and gradually getting worse, worse, worse. I used to have those things all the time. 12 years ago, when she drugged me into the sweat lodge, brought me back. And I have not had one of those stress attacks since. 12 years ago. No, it's 14 years ago. So that's the power of love. That's the power of love. Because I asked her, she said, I did what I had to do. So following the spiritual way is just amazing. Because when you connect to all of creation, when you connect to the six directions, all of this marvelous creation, like even quantum physics says, you know, all electrons throughout the universe are all interconnected. You know, I explained that to William one time, quantum physics. And he looked at me and said, so? But there's nothing more powerful when you connect yourself to the Creator. The six directions, you connect yourself to the Creator. And you have the power of the Creator within your heart. There's nothing more powerful. You become a fearless warrior. Because you know you have the Creator walk. You walk with the Creator. You walk with your ancestors when you connect yourself to the six directions. But with the pipe, you turn the pipe and say, I'm the seventh direction. I'm the most powerful being on this planet. I have the power and gift of creativity. If I want to fly, I'll fly. If I want to fly to the moon, I'll fly to the moon. If I want to, jump tall buildings with single bound, we are super people. We have the power to do marvelous things. When you're connected to the source, that's when you become a sorcerer. I found that working with the elders because I've seen them as sorcerers. They're magical beings. Because when you connect to the Creator, you connect to all life. You become a powerful being. But in being a powerful being, you have to understand that you have to be humble. Be at par with a blade of grass. Or you'll be seduced by that power. Power is something that you empower others with. You never draw power to yourself. That's irresponsible. Power is something to give. Loving is giving. And you can't define love. How do you define love? It's a magical experience. When you love somebody and they love you back. And that's beautiful. So that's why out west, the elder said to me, we want you to create a building in both nations' capitals. To have them understand that we are not going to go away, and we're going to be there to teach them. And when you go out west, one of our elders is willing. You meet him. You go out west, you help him with his vision, because his vision and our vision are the same. It's our destiny, it's our prophecy that this is a time when we have to use the knowledge that we've had for thousands of years living on this land and share it with all the newcomers. They need this. And so this is why when I came here, I went and saw William, 84, when we started working together with the islands. And he said, well, you're here. It's predicted somebody from the West would come and help me with my vision and bring it to reality. So I'm here, William. That's the elders wanted me to be here. There is no doubt whatsoever that William's vision will be on those islands. No doubt. And it's just, we have to go through that learning process of teaching people to respect each other and love. Even the exercise you're going now with the courts and everything is a teaching experience. We have to teach the mayor and council that Indigenous rights do apply to the city of Ottawa. And it's an opportunity for teaching. And the wonderful thing about this, that all Indigenous people across this land will learn also, because this is happening in front of the Supreme Court. So whatever we do is going to affect this whole nation. So that's why it's so important that you all stand with us and help us get rid of apartheid and genocide. Because there's no dignity in apartheid and genocide. It's just all about power and control. And even the Queen is embarrassed. I mean, it's embarrassment that she has towards Canada. And even the Prince, as I have had given. So, we're going to see what the judge says. But it doesn't matter what he says, we're going to take it to the Supreme Court. And if it doesn't go to the Supreme Court, we're going to take it to another court. We're not going to allow this to happen. And yes, some of our Algonquin brothers are proponents of windmill, and they've been colonized, and we know some of them are close to our hearts, and all we can do is pray for them. And we understand, I mean, what they've gone through. And my elders said to me, Doug, you have to understand this. When you serve your people, our people have been so broken, so hurt, so destroyed, everything taken away from them, their children, everything. They've humiliated, downgraded. They're always on the verge of suicide because there's no life for them here. You have to understand one thing. And you remember this, Doug. I remember this elder saying, you remember this. Our people will sell their souls for a white man's smile. That's the situation this colony has put us in. So I understand totally that some people are off the wrong path, and it's not their fault. It's a fault of the colony. So we will make this happen together. And Idoya, being Basque, had the same problem in our own country. Country culture 20,000 years ago, when Europe was under a mile of ice, and they lived in caves at the edge of the Pyrenees. We find ourselves with virtually the same values in different parts of the world. I never thought that I'd be married to an Indigenous European. But it's beautiful to be able to share each other's total difference. We're totally different human beings. I mean, you like Colgate, I like Crest. But it's beautiful when you embrace another's culture, another's point of view. It makes you twice as big. And the more people you embrace, the larger you get. And it's the beautiful part of the human family is that we're so different. And together we can be so beautiful. So Well, thank you.